Tonight, the family of a woman shot and killed outside of a Mexican restaurant is searching for answers. Investigators say Racquel Mahone was one of two people shot in College Park outside of Cozumel Cantina on Old National Highway early Sunday morning. The second victim, a 25-year-old man, was shot in the arm and taken to the hospital for treatment. Investigators say an altercation broke out before guns were drawn and shots fired, hitting both Mahone and the man.
Welcome to No Tears for Black Girls, a true crime podcast with a purpose.
At 1:23 a.m., police arrived in response to a call at a Mexican restaurant on Old National Highway. Reports had come in of shots being fired in the parking lot. Blue and red lights flooded the area as police cars encircled the restaurant, and patrol officers sprinted into the scene. There they found two people shot. One was a woman slumped across the front seat of her car with no pulse, and the other was a man standing outside, clutching his abdomen in pain. The officers wasted no time in securing the area. Calling for medical aid and additional personnel to attend to the wounded man, witnesses reported sighting a dark-colored sedan speeding away after they fired shots. They couldn't provide more information on the vehicle. The officers searched for evidence and witnesses. The officers identified Racquel Mahone, a local resident, as the woman in the car, while they took her son Mercedes Mahone to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigating further, the investigators found shell casings in the parking lot and started re-interviewing witnesses. It became clear Racquel had been waiting in her car for her son when the shooting occurred. Upon hearing his mother's cries, Mercedes ran to investigate. Witnesses rumor alcohol consumption to have caused the events at the restaurant, but it's unconfirmed. The investigation into Racquel Mahone's death filled the air with a somber and electrifying atmosphere. The detectives wanted clarity. They left no stone unturned. The detectives' inquiry soon zeroed in on the security guard at the Mexican restaurant, Pedro Hernandez. The 25-year-old was renowned for his seclusion while conducting his duties at elite security solutions with efficiency and expertise. Brandon Edwards, a college student who stood witness to the melee outside the restaurant, reported that he heard a blast and then spotted a man sprinting from the parking lot with someone else close behind him. Upon further inspection, they saw Pedro Hernandez holding a firearm near the restaurant entrance and pursuing Carlton Mahone, Mercedes Mahone's brother. With the evidence present, the authorities apprehended Pedro Hernandez. In response to detectives' questioning, Pedro Hernandez admitted to shooting Racquel Mahone and Carlton Mahone. Pedro Hernandez's actions caused the shooting of 3 people, resulting in 2 injuries and 1 death, despite his assertions of self-defense. The data suggests that Pedro Hernandez was inside the restaurant when he heard a commotion outside. He glanced out the window and spotted Carlton Mahone trying to access the premises, only to be denied by staff and security present. He began shouting obscenities, provoking Hernandez to dash outdoors and demand him to depart. However, Carlton became more and more aggressive and violent, intimidating Carlos with threats of harm. In fear of his safety, Hernandez withdrew his gun and fired it to defend himself, but at a price. The bullet hit Carlton on the arm. Hernandez then heard another sound from the parking lot and noticed Racquel Mahone sleeping in her car, whom he believed could have been reaching for a weapon. Seized by panic, he discharged his gun again, wounding Racquel.
I want to give you a live look right now at the scene we're looking at. She says that her mom was just napping in a car. This is what she says. Her mom was napping in a car here in the parking lot of the Cozumel Mexican restaurant. It's right here on Old National in College Park when a security guard, she says, was involved in some type of altercation with somebody else and then started shooting. That's all according to Mercedes. When we did get here, though, we saw a number of detectives surrounding a vehicle, including a crime scene unit as well. Now, in front of that car, we also could see a body laying on the ground with a sheet. Now, in the last 15 minutes, again, the medical examiner was in and out. We are trying to figure out the exact identity of the victim according to the medical examiner and police. They're being very tight-lipped right now. They say that there will be an update in the next few hours, but we're also told that the victim's son was shot as well. We're told that he was taken to the hospital. Mercedes just told me that he was shot in the arm and is expected to be okay. Here's what she had to say when we talked to her about 5 minutes ago.
Her mom is just so sweet. Like, she cares about everybody around her. She was a good mother. My mom, she loved her kids.
Yeah. A lot of tears, a lot of heartbreak out here, Sophia. We, again, are pressing police about what occurred and whether or not a security guard here at the Cozumel restaurant was involved in this shooting, this homicide investigation. So, of course, police are on scene right now. We're going to continue to press for any new information.
Pedro Hernandez trembled in fear as he recalled the chaotic scene that had taken place at the entrance of his post. Screams and the sound of Carlton's rapid gunshots surrounded him. In panic, he drew his licensed revolver and aimed it towards Carlton, but lost balance amidst the commotion and wet asphalt material scattered onto the pavement, causing an accidental discharge of rounds near the bystanders with no intention of targeting them. This led to a hostile confrontation culminating in the death of Racquel Mahone, an innocent bystander whose presence seemed coincidental, yet resulted in a tragic fatality. The grief-stricken atmosphere froze time. They could only look on as memories melted together against the background of the grainy texture brought about by their expressionless, drenched faces. Amidst disbelief, they were all overwhelmed by a mutual sense of sorrow. The detectives pored over the security footage from the scene. The investigation had determined that Carlton was bristling with arms and brimming with menace when he stormed in. Yet his reasons for launching such a reckless attack remained a mystery. After watching the videos and taking witness accounts, it appeared that some source of agitation provoked Carlos into a flaring rage. The security cameras around the area recorded everything that occurred with remarkable detail, like a series of still photographs. Those involved managed an unfortunate death. It should bring those responsible for the unfortunate death to justice, to bring closure to this tragic incident.
Kiwi Ashmead came out Sunday morning to pick up a Mercedes-Benz. It belongs to her sister, who was working as a bartender at Cozumel Cantina in College Park when chaos unfolded.
She's the bartender here, so she was inside working.
And she got some bruises, you said?
Yeah, she has bruises on her arms, some on her leg.
Is that for running?
Yes, running behind the bar, and then, you had other guests running behind the bar as well.
The vehicle and the bruises are connected to a deadly shooting around midnight. Tara Padilla owns Cozumel Cantina and alleges the shooting came after a person was turned away from entering the business.
He had words with our security, went to the car, grabbed a gun, and opened fire on our security. Security returned fire, he got hit in the arm, and the police, they're charging the son with murder.
Padilla says College Park police took surveillance camera footage as part of their investigation into what happened. Meantime, Kiwi is thankful her sister came away from this episode with only bruises and a damaged car.
You can't even go out and have a great time to come home safely. Just chaos. And the time we're living in is just ridiculous.
Listen closely to this week's episode and beyond. Repost, like, follow, share, and spread the word about No Tears for Black Girls on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.